Out of all the major events in the American Civil War, the Battle of Bull Run was the most eye-opening of them all. The Battle of Bull Run was the first major engagement of the Civil War. Families came out to watch this skirmish, for they thought the entire war would be settled with a single battle. The Union troops were excited to be in the first battle, not knowing how horribly it would turn out. The Union started the march down to Manassas, a town near the river Bull Run, with 35,000 fresh troops. Their plan was to attack in the early morning, when the Confederacy would not be expecting it, with an attack head-on and to the side of the Confederate troops. This frequently used battle tactic was called a flank, usually working in every circumstance. The Confederacy started the battle with about 22,000 troops defending the town of Manassas. Their main plan was to defend all entryways coming from Washington, D.C. to try and blockade the northern troops. Some of their major points were river crossings along the Bull Run River. They defended the stone bridge that crossing the strongest because it was the fastest and easiest way across the Bull Run River. Once the Union Army was camped near Manassas, they sent out scouts to survey the area. When the scouts got back, the Union commanders decided that their best plan would be to send smaller sets of armies to different river crossings to distract the Confederacy, while the main force took a longer route. This plan required that the two smaller forces have extreme precision timing and be ready at all times. The Union also sent word to a different army to make sure that no reinforcements would be able to join the fight for the Confederacy. Unfortunately, this plan failed because the distance to one of the river crossings was incorrect, so the battalion of men got there 4 hours late. By this time, the rebels had figured out what was happening and sprung into action. Also, the rebel reinforcements slipped away to help the battle. When the reinforcements arrived, the South had about 32,500 troops, and the North still had 35,000 troops. The Union was able to push the South back, but the South realized that their enemy had to get control of a hill to win the battle, so they protected that hill as best as they could. They did this by laying flat on top of the hill and shooting down it. A commander of the Union Army shouted, "Look, there's Jackson standing like a stone wall. Rally around him, Virginians." So the North charged the hill time after time, but they could not make it to the top of the hill. This also gave Jackson his famous nickname, Stonewall Jackson. After a while, the rebels let loose a blood-curdling yell as they charged down the hillside, sending the Union Army in a full retreat. The families who were watching the battle got caught up in the retreat. Some of them were killed in it. At the end of the day, it was a Southern victory. I think this battle is very significant because it opened all of America up to how war looks. Before this battle, people didn't realize what war does to people. Families came to watch the Battle of Bull Run. People took war seriously after this skirmish, and therefore never went to another battle again.